Most guns are built to impress you. Very few are built to save your life. A few months back, I stood in front of my safe longer than I expected to. No pressure, no noise, just pistols I'd shot well, defended in arguments, and trusted without really testing the word trust. I pulled them out one by one, good triggers, tight groups, solid reputations. Then I asked the only question that matters. If something goes wrong and I have seconds, not perfect stance, not perfect grip, which one keeps me alive? Not which one feels best. Not which one I enjoy shooting. Which one still works when I don't? The pile got smaller, fast. 5 stayed on the table. By the end of this video, you'll know whether the pistol on your belt is built to save you or just make you feel prepared. The M&P 2.0 Compact had been riding with me all week. Steady weight on my belt while running up and down Highway 290 outside Houston. Not oversized, not steel heavy, just a compact I carried because it balanced control and practicality. Late one night, I pulled into a small gas station off 290, tank lower than I liked. One truck sat near the edge of the lot, engine running, lights on, no one at the pump. I stepped out and started fueling. Both doors on the truck opened. 2 guys stepped down and stayed near their side, watching. No rush, no words, just distance tightening in a quiet lot. My hand settled along the grip of the compact. For a split second, I wondered if a shorter frame was enough in open space. Then texture locked into my palm. Sight picture rose naturally. Trigger prep felt clean, familiar. No searching, no adjustment. I finished fueling. They didn't move closer. I didn't wait to see if they would. I pulled out slow. Eyes check in mirrors longer than usual. Driving home, I kept replaying it. The compact never hesitated. It did exactly what I needed it to do. But this list isn't about good enough. It's about what still works when everything else starts breaking down. And that line is harder to clear than most people think. I hated shooting it the first time. Too wide, too heavy. That first double action pull felt like dragging weight uphill. Everyone around me was moving to lighter polymer frames, while the 92 FS looked stuck in another decade. A friend of mine in Nevada carried one on duty for years. Desert heat. Long highway stretches. Calls where backup wasn't right around the corner. I asked him once why he never switched when others did. He didn't talk about reputation or military contracts. He just said, "It's the one I don't worry about when I draw." He told me about a stop that turned fast. Suspect bailed, spun, hands moving where they shouldn't. No time to adjust grip. No time to think through trigger weight. First, pull broke. Slide cycled. Round fed. The moment passed because the gun didn't hesitate. Later, he said something simple. If it had failed, that conversation would have ended different. That was enough. The 92 FS isn't modern. It isn't light. But predictable steel under pressure has value. It earns its place. But the next pistol on this list doesn't depend on weight or legacy. It survives because failure barely registers as a possibility. Most pistols are tested clean. Proper grip, fresh springs, decent ammo, ideal range conditions. The USP wasn't built for ideal. It was engineered assuming something would degrade. Grip pressure, lubrication, ammunition, even parts over time. It was designed around the question, what happens when everything isn't right? Look at it long enough, and you see why it feels oversized. Slide mass that isn't trying to win comfort points. A recoil system built to handle pressure beyond what most shooters will ever run. Generous tolerances that don't tighten up when dust or carbon builds. It doesn't chase refinement. It builds margin. Margin is tension. Because the moment you actually need a pistol, conditions won't be clean. Hands won't be steady. Maintenance won't be recent. The USP assumes that. It plans for weakened springs, imperfect grip, mixed ammunition, mechanical fatigue. It isn't optimized for performance. It's buffered against failure. It doesn't feel modern. It doesn't feel elegant. It feels prepared for something going wrong. And that preparation changes how you look at the guns that weren't built with that assumption. It was a pressure day on the range. Timed strings, reloads on the move, controlled chaos built into repetition. I was running my old P226, the same one people like to call heavy, outdated, unnecessary in a striker world. Long first pull. Steel frame. No shortcuts. It wasn't forgiving. It required intent. Another shooter's modern striker pistol started choking mid-drill. Failure to feed. Quick tap rack. Then another stoppage as the pace increased. Nothing catastrophic, but under time, small failures feel bigger. Rhythm broke. Confidence dropped. You could see it in his eyes. Jeet, our instructor, had been watching from behind the line. When my turn came, I ran the same drill. First pull deliberate. Break clean. Slide cycling hard and consistent. Recoil predictable. No interruption in cadence. No mechanical doubt creeping in. When I cleared, Jeet stepped closer, looked at the P226 in my hand, and said quietly, "That one doesn't care about tempo." That stayed with me. The P226 asks something from you. Discipline on that first press, but it doesn't flinch when pressure stacks up. And the pistol at number 1 doesn't even demand that discipline. It removes the variable entirely. Most pistols are built to impress you. Only a few are built to save you. The Glock 19. Gen 5 doesn't care about reputation, debate, or trends. It was built to fire when you are not steady, not calm, not thinking clearly, when maintenance slipped, when lint packed into corners, when sweat sat under the slide for weeks. It doesn't tighten up under grime. It doesn't alter its trigger feel because you skipped a cleaning. It stays mechanically consistent. I've carried one long enough to watch the finish dull from holster wear and edges smooth from daily friction. Texas heat, dust, carbon, humidity, none of it changed the press. When a moment turned wrong and my pulse jumped, I didn't analyze the gun. I pressed through the wall I already knew. Same break, same reset, no long double action transition, no hesitation between stages. Just cycle, eject, feed, repeat. That's what life-saving reliability is. Not excitement, not refinement. Mechanical consistency under stress. This is one of the 5 pistols that can save your life because it removes doubt from the equation. And the bonus gun wasn't built to remove doubt. It was built to endure punishment. Houston summer doesn't care about your carry gun. Humidity hangs heavy. Sweat soaks through fabric, into holsters, into metal. The FN 509 rode with me through weeks where the heat never really broke. It stayed pressed against skin, seatbelt tension, grinding it into my side, console edges rubbing the slide every time I shifted in the truck. It wasn't stored. It lived there. Cleaning wasn't perfect. Lint collected. Salt dried along corners. The finish dulled and the slide felt warm, even before touching it. Long exposure like that exposes tight tolerances. Springs lose snap. Triggers get sluggish. Some pistols begin to feel slightly different after months of compression and heat. One afternoon, something shifted fast enough to spike the pulse. No theatrics, just movement that didn't belong. My hand went to the 509 and I pressed. The brake felt unchanged. Reset snapped back clean. The slide cycled with the same force it had months earlier. It keeps functioning long after comfort is gone. This wasn't a ranking. It was a filter. Plenty of pistols shoot well. Plenty feel good on a calm day. That wasn't the standard. The standard was uglier than that. Neglect, stress, imperfect grip, bad conditions. The kind of moment where thinking slows down and mechanics take over. 5 cleared that line for me. 1 did it without excuses. If yours didn't make this list, that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you need to answer a harder question. Why do you trust it? Because liking a gun and betting your life on it are 2 different things. You don't get to assume yours survives chaos. You either know or you don't. I'm Steve. Pick carefully.